We Make Movies is recorded in front of a live audience in Los Angeles and is hosted by WeMakeMovies.org. We're also very lucky to be sponsored by Aqua Hydrate and Pretzel Crisp. Hello and welcome back to another edition of How We Make Movies. I'm your host, Amanda Lippert. Today we're talking with producers Jen Dubin and Cora Olson of Present Pictures. Their first film together was Romancing the Phone back in 2005.
Yeah, that was a short film that we made actually as part of a 24-hour film festival.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. That's great. And then you guys did The Babysitters in 2007, Good Dick in 2008, Save the Future, The Perfect Family, and now you're working on Future Weather and IMI.
Yeah,
correct. Great. And was your first film, was that a short or was that a full-length film?
Our first film that we made was a film called The Babysitters, which was a feature-length film.
Okay. What were some of the biggest hurdles that you dealt with?
I mean, I think the biggest hurdle was not knowing, we didn't know what we were doing. You know, we had a script and we had a business plan and we would meet investors and they'd say, well, how are you going to get cast? And we were like, we're going to make offers and, you know, and then we figured we should get a casting director. And so that was the first kind of milestone for us. We brought Ronnie Eskel onto the project and, you know, she had cast huge movies like Pulp Fiction and you know, discovered, you know, Ashton Kutcher and Dude, Where's My Car? And, you know, had done some big things like that. So she was able to kind of help lend a little bit of her weight to the project.
So then you got that into distribution. You were probably thrilled. And where did you move from there?
While we were in production on The Babysitters, we were developing another project called Good Dick, which was our second film. And that movie came together very quickly off of the heels of The Babysitters. We like came back from New York where we shot that film in like, you know, June, and we were shooting Good Dick in October. So it was like really, really fast. And we picture locked on Good Dick right when Babysitters was going into Toronto, and then right when we got back from Toronto, we got Good Dick into Sundance.
Did you think that good luck would continue?
We didn't really know what to expect, but I think we were pretty confident going into Sundance that for a movie that was made for $200,000 with the cast we had at the Sundance Film Festival in competition, that we would sell the movie for profit. But as it turned out, you know, once we were there at the festival, we were in the company of some really terrific movies, but you know, the acquisitions market was just dead.
So this was right before, I mean, about a year before the markets took a huge dive and we went into full recession.
Correct.
But that was about the time of the writer's strike as well. What was happening in Hollywood that nobody was buying films?
I think people had overspent in the years prior, in 2006 and 2007, and everybody was just very tight, you know, and there was an understanding that the economy was on the rocks already, even though it was like early in the year, and I think people were just getting, you know, wanting to hold back, not wanting to spend. They just wanted to wait and see. And you know, we were told, don't worry, you're gonna sell the film, and you know, we did get some offers, and we just felt like for what we had made the movie for, it didn't really make sense to sell it for less than what we made it for.
Everybody that I mentioned, you two, and I said, oh, they did the film Good Dick, they're like, oh yeah, I know that. I would say that's probably your most popular film that you've done to date. Is that your lowest budget film that you've done to date?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but we distributed that film too, so we were really, you know, responsible for getting it out into the ethers, and so in a way, it was just a very personal project for us with the filmmakers.
What are some of the qualities that you look for in scripts now that you've had that experience in distribution?
I think we're always looking for things that we love and are passionate about, but also material that we think is going to have an audience. Is that there's not just us, but that we feel like it's something that's going to resonate with people, and that will break through all the noise, because it's a really competitive marketplace.
And you do so much work to get something made, and you think once you're in production that that's it, you've done it, you know, but that's like not even the beginning.
After production is the moment where you're like, Oh God, there's so much more work, but the momentum declines.
Yes.
Because all the people go back to their looking for other jobs and moving on to the next project, but you're stuck with it. So it's a little daunting.
Yeah, post-production hell, as we like to call it. But yeah.
You were two of the first people to really experiment as producers with hybrid distribution. How would you define that word, by the way? It's kind of a buzzword.
Hybrid distribution?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's not self-distribution. I mean, that's why people don't really call it that, because you need partners. I mean, you're going to need a partner to get it out on DVD. Not that people haven't done it all by themselves, but when we talk about it, we're talking about carving up rights, you know, using the right partner for your VOD and your digital rights, the right partner for your theatrical, the right partner for your DVD, you know, maybe carving your TV sale out so that there's money you can generate to the production for that.
My head is spinning right now.
It's about managing your rights, your windows, and really maximizing the revenue that can be generated off of a film.
What makes you guys different? Like, what are some of the tools that you use to stay in contact and reach out to people and create that interest?
I think you have to be a little bit fearless, and I think you have to work with good partners. You know,
so it's about having a good team.
The thing that I think it all starts with is, why are you making this movie? You know, is it because, oh, I wrote it over the summer and I just want to make it? I mean, you know, it takes so long, you know, so you have to really be committed. And I think any filmmaker, producer, director, writer, actor really needs to understand that they are saying something with their work and know what that is.
But I really want to talk about IMI, because in addition to being groundbreakers in hybrid distribution, you were also record breakers and groundbreakers in crowdfunding. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you went about raising the funds to create IMI?
So we had one investor who was interested in the project and wanted to support the movie and support Jocelyn, and we basically put together a Kickstarter campaign, and he agreed to match the funds that we raised on Kickstarter. So you know, after we shot our Kickstarter video and you know, did a lot of prep work to kind of launch the campaign, we put it out there and we ended up raising about $111,000.
When is IMI going to be released?
We don't know yet. It's in post-production, and we are applying to festivals, and you know, it's on its path, so we'll see.
That's great. All right, well, we've got some questions from our audience. Our first one is from @CKukahiko on Twitter. He asks, could Jen and Cora tell us about Peter Broderick?
Yes. Peter Broderick is a consultant who specializes in hybrid distribution. He is amazingly smart and really supportive of filmmakers, and I highly recommend, if anybody's embarking in self-distribution or hybrid distribution, that they call him. And you know, he will watch your movie and give you all sorts of ideas about how to market, how to split up the rights, what he recommends as a strategy. And you know, we've now released 3 films, and I still call him all the time with questions and for advice. He's great.
That's great.
So,
I saw an interview with Tiffany Schlein. She's the, I guess, founder of the Webby Awards, and she said that with her films, it's so important to set aside just as much money for post-production and marketing as you would for pre-production and production. And that's one thing filmmakers never think about. Would you agree with that statement?
I think it's often overlooked, and it's a great thing to do if you have the wherewithal to put some money aside. Absolutely, it's worth it.
With the future weather and IMI, how can people follow you and find out when those are going to be available for release?
Well, you can follow IMI on IMI the Film, or it's at IMI the Film. Is the Twitter handle, and we have a website, imithefilm.com.
Okay. We Make Movies will definitely be following you.
Cool.
And then we each have our own Twitter handles. I'm Jen Duby, D-U-B-I, and then Cora's at Cora Wilson.
Thank you so much, guys.